So I know this video with this whole news story, ladies and gentlemen, might seem a little bit late, but for those of you that don't know, I'm actually away on holiday vacation, whatever you want to call it, so I had to schedule this video in advance just to keep the views coming in, and with that, I just want to thank every single person watching right now. Thank you for all the support you've shown me recently. It really does mean the absolute world. Now back to this video. You know, with this whole woke issue we're seeing within women's sports, you know, men identifying as women, going in, taking places, awards away, etc., etc., you would think athletes, or should I say ex-athletes like Megan Rapinoe, would be on the side of safety and fairness within women's sports. You would think Megan Rapinoe would be all for women not having their basic rights undermined by allowing men to compete and in most cases destroy the competition. You know, to especially see a female athlete not on board with this is crazy. To see any woman not on board with this is backwards. You know, you have an administration here going, we're going to stop men from going into women's sports, taking places away, opportunities away, perhaps injuring women, and yet these woke liberal women are saying, oh no, that's very mean, you're hateful. Yet the very next day they'll be going, oh, men are taking our rights away, men are doing this, men are doing that. What? It doesn't make any sense, right? But Megan Rapinoe has been on the side of trans athletes competing in women's sports for quite some time, so I don't know if this stance should surprise any of us, and we all know how extremely woke she is. Massive understatement. But before we get into this one, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating, as it really helps out the video, especially now when videos are getting heavily censored and I'm not uploading as much. So all the support really does matter. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, share this video, and let's get into Megan Rapinoe. Whining, complaining, all things woke liberals are good at. So as you can see on your screen, the Daily Mail have reported Megan Rapinoe slams depraved Donald Trump over order banning trans athletes from women's sports. Gets ever so tiresome with these people, it really does. Megan Rapinoe doesn't buy the reasoning behind Donald Trump's executive order effectively banning trans athletes from women's sports at public institutions. Speaking with Soccer publication Monday, the former Team USA captain specifically took issue with the president's claim that he is protecting female athletes from trans rivals. Don't tell me it's about the rights of women's sports, the 39-year-old former Ballon d'Or feminine winner said. That is totally disingenuous to say that. What are you on about? Since his inauguration in January, Trump has signed executive orders requiring the federal government to recognize only two genders and another titled Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports. You know, the fact that executive orders have to be signed for this just shows you how crazy things have gotten. In the latter order, the Trump administration vowed to rescind funding to any institution that permits trans athletes to participate in female sports. Since then, the NCAA has amended its policy and now limits women's sports to student athletes assigned female at birth. But while Trump's order claims to protect opportunities for women and girls to compete in safe and fair sports, Rapinoe insists there's a more sinister purpose at play. I think it's just really cruel, she said. You know, if you strip it all back, it's just kind of cruel and depraved. This just isn't an issue. Hold on a second. And you aren't going to be able to executive order trans people out of existence. Right. A lot to unpack there with that garbage. So, is it not cruel for women to compete in sports and have opportunities, places, awards taken away because of a dude? Is it not cruel for women to get injured because of a dude who's competing in women's sports just because one day he said, oh, I identify as a woman now? Is that not cruel, Megan Rapinoe? And for her to say this isn't an issue, as a lot of woke liberals do, is absolutely insane. This is the narrative they try and create. Oh, it's not that big of an issue. People are making it up. It's an exaggeration. How can you say that when multiple stories come out all the time? It's just like these people insist on living in the land of delusion. We've just gone through a very long period, over 10 years, of really needing to fight just to get a baseline of like equal rights and non-discriminatory behavior. And when people stop just on women's sports, I think we are sort of at that moment. Wait, hold on a second. Have you not just on women's sports by saying that the trans athlete issue isn't an issue? What? Piers Morgan immediately seized on Rapinoe's opinion online, attacking her for calling Trump depraved. Imagine thinking that anyone who questions biological men playing in women's sports is depraved. I mean, they've used a lot worse words in the past. The 59-year-old Morgan wrote on X alongside a string of laughing emojis, "Rapinoe is such a fraud." Yeah, we all know that. Rapinoe has always been critical of Trump, but she sharpened her focus on the president in 2022 when his hand-picked Supreme Court justices overturned Roe v. Wade, thereby pushing the debate over reproductive rights to the states. And while the World Cup champion admits she's not personally scared about Trump's second term, she admitted in a post-election interview in November that she's fearful for marginalized populations. I just don't know how people think like this. I am nervous, but I am also hopeful. I believe in people, and I certainly believe in women. Do you know how... I can't even say the word. Do you know how stupid this sounds? When you sit there and say, oh, the trans issue isn't really an issue, and Donald Trump is depraved for trying to stop trans athletes from going into women's sports, yet you sit there and you go, I certainly believe in women. What? Maybe to her, when she says women, she means also men, identifying as women, but she also believes that people want better than the grim, dark, just violent reality that Donald Trump has clearly laid out for us. What are you on about? Like, on a real, what are you on about? The controversial legend and partner to retired WNBA superstar Sue Bird has also been a strong supporter of trans rights both on and off the field. She was among 40 pro athletes to sign a letter in 2023 opposing a bill aimed at excluding trans athletes from women's sports under Title IX. 40 athletes signed that petition. Left is right. Up is down, common sense, extremely hard to find. While NCAA officials estimated fewer than 10 transgender athletes playing in women's sports at partner schools, doesn't matter if it's 10, there shouldn't be one. While NCAA officials estimated fewer than 10 transgender athletes, I don't believe that for a second, and it doesn't matter if there's 10, 5, 2, there shouldn't be one, but apparently, according to them, fewer than 10 transgender athletes are playing in women's sports at partner schools. The organization has instituted an effective ban moving forward. This comes after athletes such as Penn swimmer Leah Thomas, who identifies as trans, and San Jose State volleyball player Blair Fleming, who is reportedly trans, found themselves at a center of national controversy in recent years. Yet, according to Megan Rapinoe, this issue isn't an issue. So what are those athletes doing then? Right, you know, if there are days, ladies and gentlemen, when you don't feel good about yourself, I mean, we all have them, right? If sometimes you're not feeling as intelligent as you are, just listen to a woke liberal speak and automatically you will feel 10 times better about yourself. Trust me. But I also want to show you this clip, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it because it went insanely viral, but somebody confronted Megan Rapinoe last year at a Pride event, asking her about her stance with trans athletes in women's sports.
Your U.S. women's soccer team famously lost to high school boys. Do you really think it's fair for these same boys to be competing in girls' sports? Do you think it's fair? Why should trans people compete against young girls? Do you not think that they're gonna get hurt?
Look at that.
Are they gonna get
silence.
hurt? I'm a journalist. I just want to know.
The arrogance on this woman is something else. It really is.
Megan!
But there you go. She cannot even answer that. She can't even answer somebody confronting her on that issue, and she laughs when she says that her team was beaten by teenage boys. But oh, the biological advantage doesn't exist. People just make that up. You're just being mean and hateful. Yeah, like, the quicker these people deal with the facts, reality, truth, common sense, the quicker we can actually progress as a society. What are your opinions on her stance? I can already imagine what you guys are going to say. But if you also have enjoyed, once again, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video around. But until next time, it has been your host, JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.